Good evening, YouTube. Poppy here. Pleasant Saturday evening in western North Carolina. Puffing on a corncob pipe. My hobbits. I have four of these now. Love the shape. Love the size. The length of the stem is really nice. And smoking some Drexel. I'm not sure which Roman numeral it is. 5 or 7. They have 3 that I'm aware of, but they all have. They're not numbered 1, 2, 3. If you're familiar with the blends. Anyway, it came in something. It came in an order that I got without asking. It came in an order from Pipes and Cigars, and I could see why they sent it to me. It was just as dry as a bone. Wasn't quite dust, but it wasn't far from it. So I rehabilitated it and re-moistened it and let it sit for a few weeks, a couple of months, I guess, actually, by now. And started smoking on it the other day. It's only like an ounce and a half, but actually a pretty nice blend. Don't know that I will like stock up on it, but certainly for how I acquired it, it's more than satisfying. More than satisfying. So anyway, I hadn't been on here in a couple of weeks. Haven't really had anything to tell you, anything to share. I do want to make a correction though. The last video I did, my friend Yorkshire Posse had so graciously sent me this pipe, and in the half light with old eyes, I mispronounced the man's last name who actually carved this pipe. This is a Mark Tinsky, not Tinsley. And I've been smoking I actually smoked up the Petit Robin that Yorkshire had sent me pretty quickly, but he also made a recommendation for a blend called Five Brothers. And I picked up a few pouches of that to see and compare. And I'm grateful to him for the recommendation. It isn't Le Petit Robin. I mean, yeah, it's I think made in the United States, and the Le Petit Robin comes from Belgium, I believe. But it's cut very much the same. It's a burley shag cut, and I have dedicated my Tinsky to smoking only that blend, or perhaps Le Petit Robin if I get some more. The nice thing about the Five Brothers is it's probably about half the price point of what you're going to spend on Le Petit Robin. Not that I won't eventually have some more of that, but for right now, Five Brothers is a very, very satisfying smoke. I will warn you that it seems to me to be pretty stout as far as nicotine. Not that that puts me off, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little surprised that the nicotine registers with me. 40-something years worth of pipe smoking. I was a cigarette smoker. I have chewed tobacco. I have dipped snuff. I have smoked cigars. If there's a way to enjoy tobacco, I probably have sampled that. So I don't expect to really feel the influence of nicotine. And I think that's what I'm feeling when I smoke the Five Brothers. So I'm cautious, smoking half a bowl at a time, just till I kind of feel my way through that and see what that's about. But I do recommend Le Petit Robin. I do recommend the Five Brothers. I like the shag cut. I mean, shag cut's what Sherlock Holmes smoked, right? How can you go wrong with a shag cut? Anyway, so that's my Tinsky, and I thought I would, since this is pipe-oriented sort of stuff, I'd show you one of my bones. This is the one, I've got 3 of them, and it is the one coloring most rapidly. And I would say that this pipe has maybe a dozen bowls in it. maybe not even that much. But it is just coloring right up. And I've tried to smoke the other two. I mean, this is really a good shape and size for my hand and my mouth and everything. Very similar to the Tinsky and very similar to a Nordic Viking, I think I shared on here. So the other ones are a little bit different shapes, and I don't like them quite as well in terms of the shape. The quality of the smoking is good. I don't have a complaint about the bones at all. But I try to make sure each one of them gets an equal number of smokes, so I'm not playing favorites. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to hurt one of their feelings, would I? But for some reason, this particular one has been the one that's just really, the color's really jumping on. The other ones are coloring some, but there's still a lot of blondness to them. Anyway, maybe that's just because it fits my hand so well. Let's set those boys aside over here. Really don't have anything else to talk about. I wanted to correct my error with Tinsky and shout out to Yorkshire Posse once more for the pipe, which is so wonderful, and then the heads up he gave me on the Five Brothers. If y'all haven't been over to Yorkshire Posse's channel, go check him out. He doesn't post lots of stuff, but I like the content of what he's posting. So I suppose we could sit here for another 5 minutes. You can watch me puff my pipe, or I can fumble for words since I really don't have anything on my mind to speak of. Other than to sit back waiting on another storm. The last one almost sort of came by here. Well, it did come by here. That's the problem, is it went by here. And I think we probably can count the raindrops that we got. And we're kind of in need of some rain. We had a lot of rain back in the spring, but it's sort of dodging us around here now. And while everything hasn't turned brown yet, it is still just the third week of July, and we won't really start to see breaking temperatures other than for a day or two here until probably September, so maybe even another couple of months. So it would be good to have a rainstorm. Not to mention, I think you've seen me on here before when I've been out cheering on the thunderstorms coming in. I just really like a good storm. Reminds me of my youth growing up in Panhandle of Florida, where at this time of year you could about plan, almost set your watch on when the storm was coming in off the Gulf. Those humid hot days and then the cooler air coming off the water. Around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, got a little dousing to sort of temper the heat and humidity of the day. So anyway, rather than just making noise to make noise, which I do enough of in my life, I'm going to stop here. I want to thank all you quiet friends who come by here and watch us, people who present and listen to us ramble or rave or whatever it is we happen to be doing at the moment. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Thanks to my subscribers. Again, just the number of people who have subscribed to me just really sort of, it pleases me, but it sort of baffles me too. I'm not really sure why that number of people. I think it's around 74, 75 now. I hope you don't feel like you get to a point where you're wasting your time with me. But that's another reason for keeping these things short. So if you do waste your time, you haven't wasted much of it on my behalf. So anyway, I hope y'all have a really good weekend, what's left of it, and peace to you all, and be kind.